Well, hello, welcome to my channel, welcome to my shop. My name is Ken, and I primarily woodwork, but I also dabble in metalwork, mostly when I need something. So here recently I upgraded my lathe. Well, that's for another video. I went from a 9x20 small import to an older 1990 Taiwanese lathe, a 13x40, which almost weighs a ton, literally. So on my small lathe, I was a big collet user fan. I used a ER32 collet on that lathe with exceptionally good results. It very accurate, very dependable, and I like using a collet chuck for smaller round, defined round stock sizes, 3/4, 5/8, whatever. So I wanted a collet chuck for doing that same kind of work on the big lathe. So I had such good luck with the ER32 that I ordered a Chinese 5C collet for chuck for the lathe. Has the D14 backing, and it's a piece of junk. It's an absolute, to my opinion, unusable piece of junk. Looks nice on the outside, terrible on the inside, but I'm going to do a separate video on that, kind of review. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely negative, and I'll show why. So, I said, I'm going to quit messing around. I'm going to get a collet chuck, a better collet chuck, and the one that I used years ago was one of these guys. So this is, and I'm going to say it wrong probably, but I'm sure I'll be corrected by somebody. This is a Hardinge-SJOGREN Speed-Collet-Chuck. This one's number 5CD6, and I'm wondering what the D6 stands for, because I have a D4 back, but I don't know. From Hardinge Brothers Incorporated, Elmira, New York, which is actually pretty close to where I was born, relatively. So anyhow, so I found this guy on eBay, and it was going for the going rate. I offered the guy a little less, and he counter offered, and we finally got together on it, and I bought it. I forget what he was calling it, excellent condition or great condition, I think is what he said. We'll see. But anyhow, so I buy this chuck, and now I'm, it just came yesterday. So I'm checking it over. I've already cleaned it up a bit with real fine Scotch-Brite and WD-40, just because it has surface rust all over it. I'll put a picture, try and insert a picture here. Kind of hilarious to me, well, to me anyhow, is somebody engraved apartment 452 on the side of it, which, with my weird sense of humor, now I want to call my channel department 452, but I probably won't. Anyhow, so looking at this, the guy says great condition, and it was pretty dirty. It's pretty dirty in here. On the wheel, there is some significant rubber missing here. So I don't know if it's enough to cause this thing to start separating, or if it's going to throw pieces of rubber. That's really the only bad spot. There's a little one there going around. It's kind of funny that the pictures neglected to show this, but maybe I can do something about it. Anyhow, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but she's got some bruises on her. Definitely been smacked or run into a few times. The back is substantial. I don't know if this is a factory back or something somebody made or what. It's heavy. That's for sure. Some kind of welding marker. It's got some things written here. I'm curious to know what that's all about. It's got a index stamp here. I'm curious to know what that's about. Maybe it's how it flushed up against their spindle. I don't know. He shipped the, thankfully, he shipped the cotton nut. No, everybody I know is yelling at me right now. Cam locks. He shipped those separately taped together, which was smart. That way they didn't punch through the box. That's what I normally see on this mount. So, whatever, we'll see. So, you know, looking at a few videos on, well, actually just one, on taking this apart. The fellow that took one apart to clean his had a totally different back that he made, but his back mounted from the back. Mine does not. There's no mounting there whatsoever, so mine mounts from the front. I can only assume. So now here's the other issue with this. I'm trying to keep the auto exposure or the exposure from going nuts, but here's the other issue. And you know, I agree, and I'd normally anyhow would take this apart and clean it, especially after I've seen what's inside of it, because you know, you don't know how long these things have been sitting. But this one's got a problem, and I don't know how bad the problem is yet. So I need to take it apart to see how bad the problem is. These things are really simple in their design and how they operate. So I'm hoping it's just trash or built up gunk, but let me see if I can show. So when you're spinning it, it spins fine until it gets to a point. And then it, see, you can spin it, spins nice, boom. It hits a point that's hard. It's hard enough to move the chuck. You see? She knew that. So she's got a spot inside of her, and it's the same spot. You know, if we take, just for fun, let me grab a Sharpie. We're going to mark right here. And then we'll take this little puppy and move it around. Yep, well, now it's over here. Now it's right there. So it's between here and here on the gearing. Where's my marker here? So between these 2 points, we're grabbing bad. You know, I mean, it will get over it, obviously. I can just do this and get right by it. But what is that grab? I don't know. So I want to find out, you know, what that is and potentially fix it, because it's a defined grab. I'm really, really hoping it's not broken teeth or something like that. I'm just hoping it's got some crap got up inside there. Maybe got past the felt, or maybe the bearing is screwed up. Take a drink. So I'm going to take this apart and take a look. So I'm going to try to knock it loose with an impact first. It's a 3/8 Allen head, so I've got a socket here. If I have to, I'll vise it, but I'm kind of hoping these aren't in there that strong. So I'm just going to pre-apologize for the noise. Okay, that's not moving. Nope. Nope. Okay, not moving. So should I get a bigger oh man, I bet I'm gonna have to put that in a vise. let me try a bigger, had a reach there. My stool went nuts. Let's try a bigger impact driver, just curiosity's sake. How's my battery? Good. See if you'll let go. Nope, she is in there. Okay. So I have at the end of my bench a woodworking vise, because again, that's primarily what I do. So we're going to try to lock her in. Give me a second here. And I'm back. Moved it over to this vise at the end of the bench, and we're gonna, there goes the compressor. And there it goes. Okay, so let's give this a try now. Hoping this isn't one of those nope, I was afraid it was left-handed threads and I was gonna go the wrong way, but they're just tight as all get out. So I want you to know, I'm sitting there, you can see me moving the bench when I'm doing that. Underneath of this bench is a set of drawers and a whole bunch of other stuff. This bench probably weighs 400 pounds. And it's very stout. It's actually the outfeed table to my saw. And I do a lot of stuff on it. It's kind of become my favorite place to work. Even though I have a much better bench. I don't know, I just like it here. But anyhow, so we've got this loose now. So I'm gonna move it back for clarity's sake. And let me get the camera reset and we'll go some more. And we're moved back to where we were. So just because I'm lazy and don't want to sit here and I don't know how long these screws are and screw every one of them, I'm gonna still go back to my impact and just get them out. Oh, they're not too long. Big old guys. Man, I want to tell you, those were tight. I don't know what the torque was, but I'll have to remember to torque them back. I don't know what the torque is though, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Now the question. The paper towel here. What am I going to see? You know, I probably would have done this anyhow, no matter what, just because, you know, this thing's loaded with old grease. When was the last time it was greased? The grease fitting is nasty. So, we got water over here. Drink lots of water. Okay, well, we may need this, don't know yet. Let's see, are you going to come off easy? Nope. Let's give it a little bump. All right, you are not moving. Dang, 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 dang. Well, crud. There's no way I can get underneath of that. Nothing to get a hold of in there. Crap, how am I going to get this out of there? Okay, so what I've established here is I've got no blinking idea how this thing comes apart. None whatsoever. So, Boy, that sucker, I just made it lock worse. The funny thing is, if I turn it upside down, no, it's still doing it. The other day, yesterday, didn't seem to have that as bad. But it's still got that nasty spot in it. Yeah, I got no idea. I mean, it seems to have moved a little bit on this side. Not at all on this side. So does that mean that I moved it a little bit? I just don't want to get a screwdriver under this, if you know what I mean. And I don't want to beat on this rubber and make it worse than it already is. And I feel like it's moved a little bit over here, as you can see. But it ain't moving over here. So what if I wrap it that way real hard? See, now it moves on that. So yeah, I think she's just pressed in here. Wow. My goodness, how in the world can I get that out of there? I don't want to use a collet or something like that and then beat on it, because you know you would be beating on threads and kill the threads on that gear, and I'm screwed. Jeez, what am I missing here? How did they get this thing to fit that tight? So now it's loose on this side. Give it a wrap over here. Now it's loose on that side. So this thing's definitely moving. Yeah. Maybe I'm just impatient. Maybe I just need to work it around. Maybe that's why there's all those hammer marks on it. See, I got it loose going all the way around. Geez, man, there seems to be like there would be a better way to do this. Wow. Okay. So I am going to sit here a while and tap on this in a circular motion and go around and see if I can get it to loosen up some. I couldn't get underneath of there if I wanted to. There's no way to pull this thing that I've got. Too bad it's didn't have a couple threaded holes in it. I don't know what I'd catch on to, but at least I could try to get it in the vise. Put a fake bottom in there to press against. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't have a good way to pull this thing apart. All right, so I'm going to continue to try tapping it around and see if I can loosen it up some more, but I don't want to bore you with that. So while I do a little bit of tapping here, I'll come back here in a little bit